Hello everyone, welcome back to Paint the Party. Today I'm painting another diorama, but this one's a little bit different because I'm actually going to be displaying it at an event. So a little bit of backstory, my parents are beekeepers and they are hosting a honey tasting session at my mum's cafe. So I thought it'd be kind of cool if I made this diorama for them as a surprise and they could display it in the evening. And a big change I made with this diorama is I used a thicker piece of insulation foam, as you can see, and I textured it with a rotary tool and then just primed it brown. And this is the terrain base I decided to use. I bought this with the intention of using it for this just because it kind of looks like I don't know, English soil, I guess would be the best way I could describe it to you. And this diorama is set in a field, so it was perfect for this, and I was very happy with the results. You'll see what I mean shortly. So once I'd mostly covered everything, I used a technique I'd seen online to just sort of stab the terrain with the paintbrush to give it a nice texture, which did end up working very well, and it did feel like a muddy field in England. A bit of backstory. I think it was a few years ago, my dad bought my mum a beehive for Christmas. Sort of semi as a joke, and now they own like 10 hives, and it's kind of taken over their life in the best way, I guess. This was also my first time using a static grass applicator. I picked this one up on Amazon, it was like £15, and I was kind of nervous to see how it would work, but it ended up working very, very well. I think it could be better. It might be down to the glue that I used. As you can see, this is me just doing a test patch, so I just put a bit of glue on there and then just shook the applicator onto the patch of glue. So there's like a metal cable touching the roof of the applicator, and then there's that crocodile clip that goes onto the foam, which should make it stand up. You can't see it all that well on the camera, but it's a lot of it standing up, not all of it, but enough for it to look like a field. So then I just kind of went crazy with this glue and applicator. And this is what I ended up with. Kind of felt like the White Cliffs of Dover a little bit with the white foam. I did paint that matte black off camera. So this is just me getting an idea of where I want to lay everything out. And then I went ahead and primed all of the minis. So I printed these minis off myself. I'll link the file below if anybody is interested in buying them. I cannot remember the name of the creator, but they were on Cults. But yeah, I'll link them below. I wasn't kind of sure what colour to prime these. I either had brown spray or black spray. I ended up going with the brush on primer that's grey, and then very quickly remembered why I bought spray primer, because brush on primer is a nightmare. So both the beekeeping suits that my parents wear are white, so I just painted them white. It's one of those things, it's difficult to get a nice vibrant white when you're painting on grey. and then I just painted the hands and the boots black. And then went over everything with some soft tone just to get into the recesses. Another fun little fact, my dad didn't know he was allergic to bees until they got beehives. So I think there's been 2 or 3 cases now where an ambulance has had to be called. So yeah, but they still do it. He has EpiPens now. This is one of the hives. This is the only one with its lid off, which will be kind of the main, the hive that the 2 beekeepers will be stood over and inspecting. An average hive has about 60,000 bees in it as well. A nice little fact for you there. I was trying to come up with a way where I could make a swarm of bees to be above this hive, but just to get the scaling right, you wouldn't have been able to see them. These obviously aren't my hands. I had 8 of these hives that I needed to paint in time to get the diorama to the event, so I ended up recruiting Emily to help me, and she wanted to have a go at painting on camera, so this is that. If you've got any critiques for her, let's just post them below. My mum and dad's hives are all different colours, different vibrant colours, just so they can identify which is which, because every hive has a different queen. And yeah, this is me trying to figure out how I wanted to lay them out. Originally I sort of put them out in kind of a uniform way, like 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom, but it just felt a little bit unnatural. And it's not the way my parents do it really. So I went back in the end and moved them around so they're a bit more random. So this is me again, just deciding where everything's going to go. There are a few print failures, so the diorama is to be viewed from this angle, so you don't see the failed prints on the miniatures. But yeah, that's what I ended up on, and here's the reveal. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. Subscribe if you want to help me out. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.